Hey Deckers, what is going on today? This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, coming at you from the Wizard's Tower. Content warning. The following show contains smoking, potty mouth language, discussions of fictitious violence, and a bunch of stuff that might make people feel like they've been singled out. But we promise we're not here to attack you. In fact, we'd like to talk with you so that you can be seen, we can be seen, and we can all learn better stuff. Either way, viewer discretion is advised. Oh, aren't you all Mr. Rogers today? Okay, well, how about shutting your freaking face and starting the music? All right, yeah, we'll start the music. Hey everybody, what is the word? What is going on? Oh my god, I was dancing so hard that my hair just decided to go, hey, we want in on this action too. And I'm like, no, down, down, down. People want to see my face so that they can figure out something to make fun of because my hair is just too cool, according to some people. How's it going, everybody? I am Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, and I am here at the Wizard's Tower, and welcome to the dark side of the room. This is the show where we talk about games, hobbies, escapism, and life. Don't you know anything about life, Lisa? That's right. If you guys want outdated memes, old man humor, and a dad talking about stuff the way that they kind of see it and the way that you're going to see it too one day, then you're watching the correct show. But before we get on with the rest of this show and all of this jazz, I want to say a hello and thank you guys so very much for showing up. It has been a thing, right? Like, wow, what kind of thing has it been? I couldn't even tell you what kind of thing it's been because there's just so much happening. So much. I mean, y'all know we don't talk politics here, but I could, if I so chose, bring up folks like Bill Maher or Drew Barrymore and stuff like that. But you know, it's never going to heal if you don't stop picking, so leave the scabs alone. That's all I got to say on that. And, of course, I got to say thanks to a lot of the folks that are here, specifically our sponsors and our other people. What I'm doing right now is I totally forgot, hang on, to pull up our sponsors page because that is a thing. But we have an interesting subject today. I'm a little quieter than I was before. I've been trying to get my sound right because when I talk to you guys and it comes up on the stream, it's all cool. And then when I go to the recording, I'm like so quiet. Like a little Icelandic woman is standing around the recording going, shh. And then big band music starts playing and we do this dance number and it's just like, if you know, you know. 90s kids, what's up? Hey. So, now that we've got all that going, let me see if I can turn this up. No, I'm about maxed out as far as I can be. I even did a little repair to my mic so that it won't be going ah. But I want to say hello and give a major shout out to our sponsor today, us. Hey, look, we have merchandise. Y'all want t-shirts and mugs and all that jazz? Come on down to tpublic.com/BID_P. Pick yourself up a t-shirt and all that jazz and send pictures. And I'll totally be showing pictures of you guys wearing the merch, sipping the coffee cups and all that stuff on the show because I think some people need a shout out. You know, major thanks to our Patreon out here. Yeah, we got a Patreon and all that jazz. Just head on over to patreon.com/BID_P. Check out the shows that we got going. I'm so close to uploading my very first episode, Happy With It, which is my painting tutorial show. And I'm trying to do like the edits and the fade ins and all that other stuff because I like doing stuff here on stream in real time from beginning to end. But you know, I need to build up those followers so that we can start having big discussions and I can get some super chats and YouTube will take me a little more seriously, which means I'll probably have to stop smoking on screen. I mean, that's just how these things go. I don't like it. But if y'all got any questions about that, there are two things. Well, one, if y'all find value in what I do, and I hope that you do, then leave a donation or join the Patreon or go to the merch shop. The links are right here. I just put them in the chat, and I'll put them in the chat on the UB Tubies and all of that jazz. I want to give a big shout out to Daryl, one of my first comments in today, because that was awesome. You know, because we are talking about some serious stuff today. But if y'all got questions, okay, if y'all got questions or comments and you want to talk to me about this stuff, that's real easy. Just pull up. Ooh, wow, yeah. Oh, well, thank you. What, my videos on YouTube are great, but why does he keep leaning off camera? I don't know. I hope he was talking about me. Anyway, oh yeah, thank you, Neon Arlecchino. I forget every time, but you've got me. Sending out the link on freaking Discord. So that is awesome. And if you guys got any questions or comments or anything like that, then all you got to do is pull up your keyboard and type in backinthedeck@gmail.com. It's BACKINTHEDECK @gmail.com. You can also reach out to me On the social medias, Twitter and Instagram, just look for Back on the Deck. The Clock app, you can find me at BidP. And of course, if you're on that wretched hive of scum and villainy known as Facebook, then feel free to join. Okay, I get you now, Xanathave. Oh, okay, he's leaning off screen to take a hit of a cigarette and then comes back. Oh, yeah, why does he look like he's on fire when he leans back on screen? But reach out on Deckers on the Book. Thank you guys for being here and show the stuff you're making and all that jazz. Gotta take some promo pictures for Happy With It, but that's gonna be on Patreon, and then I'm not sure if it's gonna be a week or 2 weeks after Patreon. We're gonna be doing that stuff. So, wizard, dragon, dragons can be wizard. One is a race and one is a character class. So, Yep. So, as I was saying, guys, today, I got some new music as well. Is this the thing? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the thing. Yeah, that's right. I wanted to get some new background music going and all that stuff, but I wanted to talk to you guys today because, as you guys can see by the comment, I've been wrestling with something this whole week writing the shows. All right, I mean, seriously, writing the shows, I've been wrestling with something really big. And if you guys wrestle with this stuff in the same way that I do, then leave a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share the video, and do all those YouTube things. No, the thing I was wrestling with was not trying to figure out how to move my advertisements into my normal stuff, like the people listening to this on Spotify. That's right, we're on Spotify too, because, again, I gotta do this properly. But I realize I'm on the internet, and a lot of people might ask, like, why are you doing this stuff on the internet? Especially since the internet loves people who love complaining and putting up videos that say you're wrong about that thing you like, and here's why. We've talked about this stuff in passing, okay? But why do you do it? And I will tell you guys why I do it. Starting off with what Steve Jobs was actually good at, okay? Why do we have the iPod or the iPhone that has all the Apple stuff? Here is the reason, okay? The iPod was worked out by Wozniak and the crew, but it was Steve Jobs getting frustrated with his CD skipping, okay? Because way back before a lot of y'all was born and I had a good back and I was a skinny pretty man. Okay, I was a skinny pretty boy, like way too pretty. I had hips, okay? I had hips. We had these things called Discmans, and they were like Walkmans, but instead of playing cassette tapes, look it up, guys, Google is free. They played CDs, and CDs had the same problem that records had. God, my references just keep going further and further back in time, but I skipped 8 tracks. Okay, no, I didn't. But anyway, and if you got bumped, if you jostled it, if you were listening to your Discman on public transportation or in a car and you hit a pothole, you could be listening to Gorillaz or Green Day or something. And then sure enough, yeah, that's right. Woz was the wizard, Ain't gonna lie, I always give credit where it's due. Wozniak is the reason that our world today is the world it is. All right. You're saying that CDs are still a thing. Okay, cool. I don't know anybody my kid's age that listens to Discman, but I know some people out there. But if you jostle it, and if your disc gets scratched, or if something gets wrong with it, or if you play it too many times, or whatever, then your song start like that the whole time. I mean, dead serious. You'd be like, my shadow's only one that walk alone. Seriously. So he created a solid state thing so that he could listen to his music without that happening. And today's episode is kind of like that, although I am not going to be as marketed and as successful as the iPod, okay? But I get a lot of questions about a lot of games, okay? A lot of questions about a lot of games out here in the real world where I touch grass and all that stuff. Yes, he was talking about Ronnie James Dio, the holy diver. And a lot of the times, in order to answer questions, now, number one, I'm not that guy that's like, I am the master of all games. I'm not that guy, okay? What I am is the dude that says, you have a hard time understanding this thing? I've never seen this thing. Let's figure it out together, okay? Because I've been reading rule books for so long, I understand game mechanic language in a very similar way as someone who grew up in the barrio or in the ghetto understands Spanish, okay? We know a little more than we let on. That's what's happening. Ooh. Oh, that looks even worse. Okay. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, you got, we get it to a level where we understand enough Spanish to where we know that somebody is cussing us out and telling us that our mothers are doing really, really lurid things with various pets. But sometimes I just don't know, okay? And what do we do in the 21st century when we don't know something? We start a debate bro channel and then just yell at people to look like we do know. No, we look it up on the internet, If you guys are like me, you guys have been like, hey, this thing seems kind of cool. Let me look it up. And what do you see? Well, you see 100 Reddit threads, not comments, threads, 60 YouTube videos, 15 articles about how that thing you're looking into sucks now and it was better 10 years ago. I don't care if you're talking about Warhammer 40k, D&D, Magic the Gathering, Lord of the Rings, here, I don't care what you're talking about. Oh, sweet. Well, thanks, DW. Yep, driving on the road again. My good old co-host is driving like 300 miles to find work because it sucks down here in SoCal. So, I am MTP, PTP, TP your house. Pay your people! All right? So that's what I got to say on that. But when it comes down to it, it's so hard to try and get into something new because when you are doing the new thing, okay, when you are looking to get into something new, before you spend your hard-earned money or your 18 cents you have left after paying rent in every major city and most minor cities in the United States, you get 3 kinds of posts on the internet. This sucks. It didn't suck before, but it sucks now. And then when you look down the whole thing, it's the same people saying that this thing has sucked pretty much from 15 minutes after they got into it to present. And I don't care if they got into it 20 years ago, okay? It was good for 15 minutes and now they make it publicly known that it sucks! It sucks! The new data slate is terrible! This thing is broken! The Ranger is horrible! Blah, 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 blah. Blah. Okay? And that can turn us off to a lot of things that we want to know how to do. The second post that you get is just get good. Spend as much money as I do and you'll be fine. That's the whole point, right? Everything you do, you're supposed to win at. You're supposed to win D&D. It's a game. You're supposed to win in debates. It's a game. Oh, you're studying photography? Well, you haven't bought the same lenses as I do because you don't live on a trust fund of your great-great-grandfather that was an oil baron who married a Saudi princess. Okay? Post number 2. And, of course, thread number 3. my particular favorite threads is you'll have a whole lot of fun in this if you do it the way that I'm telling you to do it. And the way that I'm telling you to do it requires for you to leave your home, move to a different country, and be around all these people that actually enjoy that thing you do. But if you can't afford to do that, what's wrong with you? You must be a bad person who made bad life choices. Now, I'm saying this is what I find when I'm on the net, and it might be the little corner of the internets, of the Twitters and the Instagrams, that I'm in. I talked about a different corner, which is, I'm so good at this, you'll never catch up part of the internet. Y'all know the parts that I'm looking at. I don't care if it's photography or miniatures painting or acting or comedy or all that stuff with all of the false humility. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So how do we navigate that? How do we navigate all these people that are amazing at what they do, never telling us how they got amazing at what they do, but offering to sell you a course in how to get as amazing at what I do as I am? Just pay 15 easy payments of $500 and show up to this hotel conference room and bring 5 of your friends, because you'll get further along in our lesson plan if you get your family members involved in this, and you can all succeed as a family, right? Isn't that the awesome? Oh God, it just seems like a dystopian hellscape where the world is on fire. So how do you navigate? All right, how do you navigate? Well, there's this little thing that people frown upon when you're in arguments with them, and for good reason, because this is the thing that is terrible when you're trying to interact with other people, and I never recommend doing it when you're talking to people or when you're trying to interact with them on a genuine basis. Okay? However, this little thing is called cherry picking, but these cherries bloom all year. Now, I'll let you guys know, I have so many inspirations for this channel. Okay, we're talking Channel Awesome in the early days. We're talking Brad Jones, the Cinema Snob, Double Toasted, Corey Coleman and Martin Thomas at Double Toasted, even back when they were called Spill. We're talking Wylock's Armories, Critical Role, XP to Level 3, RuneSmith, Tabletop Titans, Play on Tabletop. I can go on, okay? I can go on forever and ever. Goobertown Hobbies, not as much Ninja and Maniac and all that stuff. Of course, Tanya the War Mistress. Oh my God, I'm buying that woman ice cream. Or gelato, because she is so awesome. She deserves the good stuff from Italy. Okay, I'm talking so many people and so many things have inspired me to do this. But how did I discover them? Okay, that's the question. How did I come across all these great people? Some of them were popular. Some of them were word of mouth. Some of them were a lot of things. And some of them are the ones that I just came across while scrolling on my rectangular leash of ego-crushing doom that I call my cell phone, with things like the Clock app and Instagram and X. Twitter X. Twitter the 10th. And for a while, my ego, my sense of self-worth, my confidence in the stuff that I do, be it writing, performing, being a comedian, being a musician. Shout out to Davey 504 and Charles Berthar. Y'all know who you are. All these people that I look at, that I'm like, guys, I have been doing what you are doing for 5 to 10 years, longer than you have existed, and I am not nearly as good at what you guys do, or what we both do, as you are. I'll never catch up. Or I would try and go into an internet forum and I would be essentially hate rated by people that liked playing Yahtzee, but would have certain problems with their arms, you know what I mean? And it was always really, really discouraging for me to go on the internet and try and learn something. And so many of my friends were like, no, you just go to this forum and do that. And then I just kind of talked to some of my friends going, hold up. How long do y'all spend on these forums sifting through a question followed by 18 pages of insults to the person who asked the question? Like, where do you do all this stuff? Like, you guys have day jobs. How do you do? And a lot of them are like, yeah, that's what I do when I'm not doing paperwork. And it just irritated me to no end, because having to spend 8 hours of watching people be attacked, dogpiled, made fun of, before I could get the answer to any question, that I was born in the wrong environment to actually find out, was just soul crushing. Okay? Sometimes, just sometimes, I came across a few things. You know, you guys know I'm a shill. I am such a shill for One Page Rules. Love that company, love their games, love everything that they're doing, and love their whole business model. Like, all of their business model that I know about right now, I adore it. I think every gaming company should take like 3 pages out of the One Page rule book. All right. But I found out about that game through Wylock's Armories, because I found myself having to craft stuff. And I do have a background in special effects and construction, but I never worked on the 35mm scale before. I never did little stuff. And I found Wylock's Armory and Black Magic Craft like 7 years ago. And I looked at the stuff that they were doing, and I was just drinking in the information. Oh my God, I gotta know all of it. Oh, okay, you can do, oh wow, you're mixing your paint in, wait, Mod Podge, that's what that stuff is? I just used Elmer's glue. You know, but where do you get that stuff? There's no art supply store within freaking 16 miles of my house. Wait, Michael's is an art supply store? Oh my God, you know, that kind of thing. All right. And there are a lot of people out there that are just super amazing at what they do. All right, super amazing. And I watch their stuff. You know, I love RP Archive, and I actually took it upon myself to do one of the RP Archive projects, and it was one of my favorite home crafting learning experiences, because I found that there is no universe where I will ever be as passionate, about crafting as this guy is. He's like on that model train level. Same with Tabletop Witchcraft. And it really opened my eyes to how far I want to go. But there's something else that I see cropping up. And there is a parasocial peer pressure. Okay, when I look at stuff on the internet, the number one thing I tend to see is how things are wrong. You know, how you know, what is the wrong thing? I almost did a really, really angry TikTok yesterday, where I'm like, if you are quick to critique somebody and telling them what's wrong, instead of telling them what's wrong, tell them what you would do differently, and then show them how to do it. And if you can't do that, then keep your mouth shut. Just zip it. All right. I know I'm in rare form today. I get it. Because I get really, really tired of people, say, picking up a newbie's mini. And when I say newbie, I mean somebody that's never painted miniatures before, you know? And just picking up their mini and just tearing it apart like they're a judge at Golden Demon or some sort of Prussian art gallery thing, or some sort of Soviet miniature painting workshop where the winner gets 2 million rubles and everyone else gets shot in the head. You know what I mean? And I'm like, guys, stop tearing down all these new folks. You know, stop tearing down a whole bunch of other people unless you're willing to show them how to do it correctly. And second, if they freaking ask, you know, saying, hey, look at what I did, is not judge it, tell me what I did wrong. Okay, those are two different things. Sometimes people need to hear good job or you're coming a long way. That's pretty cool. Oh wow, I didn't know you did that. Hey, that's kind of cool. Versus, well, yeah, but see, you missed a spot there, you missed a spot there. This is a miniature, this isn't a toy. What, you built that? It still just looks like styrofoam to me. And it's just bubble popping. And I'm Generation X, okay? What does that mean? I am part of the most cynical generation that ever has been, all right? Whatever, not caring, and I guess it's all right, I guess, were like terms that we invented, and marketers, microphones, and like marketing departments of corporations back in the day tried to get us to go extreme, and we're like, yeah, I see your marketing tactic to get me to spend money that I don't have. How about market to my mom to let me come inside the house because, it's a weekday, and as much as I want to be home before the street lights come on, I really have to pee. How about marketing that, okay? Again, Generation X, we were feral kids. We drank from water hoses, and we threw rocks at each other's heads for fun. God, I wish I weren't exaggerating. But anyway, and if I, with my cynical upbringing, is saying there's way too much judgment and criticizing going on the internet, that says a lot. But when I started watching Wylock's Armory, I saw a dude that loved making stuff out of cardboard, okay? Because one of the things I was having a problem with, and one of the things that is a major trigger statement to me today, is any statement starting with just and that's only because. Okay, those two things get on my last nerves, all right? When I was first getting into gaming hardcore, when I first started working at the game store, I heard, what, it's just $10? What, you just got to get some silicone and make a mold of it. No, you just have to use these 8 techniques that I learned at art school. You just got to go to art school. I hated everything. But that seems to be the language that's all over the internet. Hey, I just got into Marvel Crisis Protocol because they released a new one. Marvel Crisis Protocol sucks. The old edition was better. Dude, you just have to get Thanos. He's a $68 model. What, you can't afford $500 for a cheap Warhammer army? It's just $500. I'm just kind of going, dude, stop. Okay? But what do we cherry pick? Well, when I watch stuff like Tabletop Witchcrafts or one of my favorite, Eric's Hobby Workshop, dude, that guy is amazing. I watch the whole video because I admire watching someone who's good at what they do. And y'all know I grew up in the hood, so I'm gonna give y'all a little hood wisdom, okay? People in the hood grow up watching people dance. We don't take whole routines. We just take that bit. Oh, I'm stealing that move. It's like hip hop. We don't use the whole song. We'll just use the drum beat. Or we'll just use the hook. Or we'll just use 5 seconds of the chorus. You get what I mean? You cherry pick the things that stick out to you. Okay? And this is big. This is really, really big. And when I say anyone can do all of these different things, it's just a matter of looking on the internet and finding the stuff that you can relate to. Now, how do you find it? That, your mileage may vary. I'm sorry. I am a very big video watcher because I grew up watching educational programming, okay? Specifically cooking shows. And I'm not talking Food Network. I'm older than the Food Network. I'm talking things like the Galloping Gourmet, the Frugal Gourmet, Julia Child, the people that are like, yeah, and I'm just doing this. I'm talking about my wife. Hey, Greg, isn't this wonderful? Come taste this. This is, that was what I grew up watching. So, and yeah, don't get me wrong. watching all of the people talk like this when they're making a turkey, and then I'm just going to have a glass of wine to taste the wine before I put it in the sauce. This wine is a little dry. Let me try it again. Glug, 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 glug. This will make a wonderful sauce. That was me. So I watch a lot of videos. I don't read the comment sections, but I do watch a lot of videos. And I'll be like, oh, he's doing that with crumpled up foil. That's great. Wait, this thing is just that? Okay. So PVA is just Elmer's glue? Well, that's at the 99-cent store. When I watch painting videos, I might get a technique, like weathering with a tiny ripped up sponge, going, now it looks like I messed up this car. Yay. But when there's so many things on the internet, with these amazing painters telling you that they're not that good, these amazing writers telling you that they're not that good, and all of these people who are there trying to sell their own books, essentially saying things, in my case, I haven't had to think about since I was in an English class in my second year of university. I graduated with my last degree in the early 2000s. So 20 years out of school, and now I'm hearing about story structure and all that stuff, and I use it a lot, but I see all these videos talking about it as though the people watching already know. And then I see things like Tale Foundry that explain things bit by bit. For those of you in the back that don't know, because you were falling asleep in class from working your 2 jobs to help your mom pay the mortgage so that you didn't have to freaking live on the street and fight off druggies, okay? What do we got? Neon Arlecchino. I still remember when Martha Stewart did a show where every recipe involved liquor. She was heavily wobbling at the end. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Nerdy Brew? I got my coffee. I hope you got yours. I know it's nighttime where you are. So, when we're looking at stuff on the internet, here's the thing. This is the biggest key to sifting through the chaff. Okay, just sifting through the chaff. Number 1. Oh, I'm always in the Wizard's Tower, my friend. I'm just in different areas of it. There's the dice area, there's the art area, but it's always there. Always there, looming like the dark side. But what was I saying? Oh, the key to getting through that shaft is, number 1, if you're like me and you watch videos, okay? If you watch videos to learn something, take a look at the thing and say, if you really like a thing, like if you really like it, I like how they painted that miniature, or wow, he made that really cool building, or wow, she put all those colors on that model and it looks amazing. Watch the video. And within that video, you might learn a paint color, a technique. And when I say technique, I don't mean like, yes, it's a major technique, or no, I will learn Panther technique, and then I shall dry brush like this. It is perfect. A lot of the times when I watch stuff, hey, what's going on, Havoc? 2110, 2 away from one of my favorite songs. But again, I've been dry brushing stuff and using inks for decades, but then I saw that Dana Howe, Dana Howe uses pale sand, and I tried using pale sand because a friend of mine had some, and I'm like, oh my god, I get it, and a lot of these people talk in technical terms, well, you have to have contrast, and it pulls away from this, and you have to have paint the consistency of this, and then when you're doing this, you should take some like construction putty and odor-free mineral spirits. Let all that stuff go. Just let it go. And find a thing, like if something that you're watching jumps out at you, then maybe do an internet search for that thing, okay? I tried looking up dry brushing once or twice, and everything that you look up, You'll see so many different things, and most of them will be, well, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. Okay? And that leads into the second point. And this is the thing that I try and work with people all the time about, and that is patience. Okay? I have a very good friend. This is one of my ride or dies. At least he was when he was in the state. And he bought a 3D printer years and years ago. Okay? And it was, now, again, I've been 3D printing for about 5 years now. So 5 or 6 years ago, 3D printing in and of itself was an engineer's hobby. What do you mean by that, Soul? I mean, it's a hobby that produced amazing results, but it took all the tinkering all day. And I mean, I am dead serious. If you wanted to get like a couple of D&D tiles that were maybe 4 centimeters tall, or 4 centimeters tall, you would have to freaking tweak and screw and do all this. You would have to spend like 4 hours adjusting your machine, push the button, and hope. And he couldn't get it to work, and he was just so mad because he thought he was sold a bum piece of equipment. And then an engineer got their hands on it, and it worked like a dream. Okay? And the reason that he was so frustrated was he didn't balance his expectations with patience. Okay? I know so many people that want to get into something. They'll check it online, and they'll be angry or frustrated because they'll learn a writing technique or an investment technique or a mathematic equation. They'll watch the video one time, and if it doesn't work for them, then they just get mad. So mad. And I get it. Because chances are, finding that thing, you had to go through all of this intellectual abuse, which takes you all the way back to school with the teachers that would say, what do you mean you don't know? Or the parents saying, well, you're good at this subject and you're not good at that one, but you're good at the subjects that you like, so you just must not care. You'll do it. You just need inspiration. And then they'll either pull out a belt, make you pick a switch, or just berate you verbally. There's a lot of stuff that goes down through there. And yes, the 70s through today are rough. It's terrible. Just terrible. Okay? So this expectation that you buy a thing, you push a button, you're told once, and you have internalized it and understand it to the point where not only can you teach it, but that you have already reversed engineered it, and you can understand it on a molecular level to the point where you can manipulate time, comes through. It's a great big expectation. I talk about it all the time. That guy that goes to the Kung Fu class wanting to move like they do in movies, and then get stuck doing 100 push-ups, which they didn't watch The Karate Kid enough, because chances are you're just going to be sanding the floor and painting the fence. Okay? So when it comes to these things, when it really comes to these things, cherry pick the 1 or 2 things that you might be able to take away from it. I don't care what it is you're studying, but set your expectations and have patience enough to know that this is going to be a process that will take time. Okay? It will. I know the marketing demons are out there saying, with Babbel, you can start speaking conversationally in another language in as little as 3 weeks. Yeah, if you spend 11 hours a day doing the thing and the conversation is, can you tell me where the bathroom is? Yes, it's over there. Thank you very much. How are you today? Cheese omelet. Really, that's what you'll be able to do in 3 weeks. So the fact of the matter is, we're so inundated with hype and baggage that having this universal store of what seems to be infinite knowledge can be both overwhelming, anxiety inducing, and just confidence shattering. Just so much confidence shattering. And that leads me to the third part. Wow, Neon Arlecchino, really? Cheese omelet? That's not conversational verbiage. That's the stuff of untranslated tattoos. What? I got through most of French just saying omelette du fromage. Omelette du fromage. Oh, comment allez-vous? Omelette du fromage. You know? Sorry, again, I told you, come here, come for the inspiration, stay for the outdated memes. You know, but the third part, there is a statement that I've always lived by before it became what is now an outdated meme, which is, if you're the smartest person in the room, you might be in the wrong room. Okay? So many of us have this expectation. I know it's something that I fight with. That's right, this is part of the show we get personal and y'all get to know something else about me. But over the course of my adult life, I've been in such unfriendly spaces to where if I wasn't the smartest man in the room, I was treated as though I was unwelcome. Okay? So it led to this expectation that I always have to know, because any misspoken word, misinformed thing was met with me being treated by those around me like I didn't spend 12 years in public school and 6 years in university. You know, if anyone knows something that I didn't, that must mean I know nothing. Those are the wrong tables. Okay, those are truly the wrong tables. However, at the same time, that led me to this pressure where I seem to always have to know. And it's only in my 40s have I been able to work through the idea that it's okay not to know. You know, it's really okay. Internally, I came to that realization on my 30th birthday. I literally woke up and started laugh crying like Natalie Portman in V for Vendetta, standing in the rain going, I don't know. It's fine. I don't know. And then I had coffee and cake, and then it made me cry even harder. 30 was fun. However, I've been dealing with this idea in my 40s that, yeah, I don't know. And it's okay that I don't know. And you need to understand that it's okay to not know. Because I don't know, you know. And I still get people who in bad faith come at me like, you don't know everything. I'm like, I know. I am fully cognizant of the fact that I don't know everything. And I am so glad. Because sometimes being in a room with too many people and too many echoes gives me a headache. If I knew everything, I would just be in a constant state of nose and ear bleeding just all the time. I have a hard time coming to terms with what I do know already. And that's fine. That, and I'm not saying it's fine like a millennial white girl whose boyfriend didn't get her hint. I mean, it's fine that I don't know everything. Because I still have a few years left on this planet. And if I'm not learning, then what am I doing? You know? And stop it. I can see you guys going, well, you could teach. I teach now. And a teacher who doesn't learn from their students is a bad teacher. Sorry. So the fact of the matter is, guys, if you go into this new stuff and you look for stuff on the internet, understand that you are not going to be the best. Hell, you're not even going to be fifth best, you know? And the person that you're looking at also isn't the best. And that is so liberating because it gives you the power. You! It can be a really big reminder to you. Okay? You right there. Maybe not you. All right. I don't know about you. But you. It can give you the power to decide how good you want to be at something. Okay? Think about that. You know, I've been playing bass guitar professionally on and off for about 30 years. Okay? And I see guys like Davey 504 who lives in Italy and doesn't come from a bunch of schools whose music and art programs were butchered by the time they were in the 3rd grade, playing these amazing things. I see people like Charles Burkhound, who went to the Berklee School of Music, okay? When all I could afford was a state school and my grades, I applied to Berklee for their science program, and it was the first time I heard a letter laugh, okay? This is real talk, y'all. And these guys are so much better at what I do than I am, and they're so much younger than me. Like, they're young enough to be my children. And I find joy in that because there's so much better stuff that's coming out, you know? And I still have the people in my life that say if I'm not as good as Victor Wooten or Marcus Miller, then I'm not good at all. Ha! If I'm not qualified to win a Golden Demon, pa! If my first novel isn't as good as Neil Gaiman's last novel, pa! That's what I gotta say. All those people, pa! You know, I don't have time for you guys. Go. I got stuff to do that I enjoy, you know? So when I go and look up stuff on the internet, I take a look at the thing that I want to learn, okay? If I see a video, well, let's run a little bit of an experiment here. Yay, I love experimentation. All right, we're not going to watch another video on the internet, but, excuse me. And this is something that's really big that comes up in a lot of videos, specifically with competitive games, okay? And this came to mind very much recently because the new data slate came out for Warhammer 40K. And so you'll take a look at Warhammer 40K on the internet, and you will see 100 videos, 100 articles about how this faction sucks now, and this faction needs to be nerfed a little more, or this faction, well, they got a good improvement, but it's not as much as I want. Or a lot of people going, well, you took something away from me, and I don't like stuff being taken away from me, right? And I'm looking at these things, and I'm like, I'm not a tournament player, so a lot of these things don't really apply. One of my favorite Warhammer channels is Auspex Tactics, and he's just like, it's a white screen with a bunch of pictures, and he's like, and this, like, oh, and the Eldar had some changes here, which might lead to this particular thing, but now this is the way that the new rule works, and we're moving on to the next thing. This is literally how the dude sounds, and it's glorious. Okay, it is so glorious because I'm like, thank you. You're giving me the information I need to make up my own mind. Cool. You know, but another one of my favorite Warhammer channels is Poorhammer, where you got two dudes that make 6 to 7 digits a year complaining left, right, and sideways. And I'm like, yep, I'm listening to you guys, so I know what to listen to. Do I put faith in what they say? Not all the time. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But they are not my core source for information. And they speak from a perspective of they like playing tournaments, and that's where they come from. And I'm just kind of going, you know, what they're saying over there about that thing may qualify in a place that I don't want to go anyway. Okay, that's good. And why? Because what I'm looking to learn has everything to do with chaff. Okay, that's how I get rid of the chaff. I'm just like, okay, don't need that, don't need this. Oh, that's how that new rule works. Cool. Don't need this, don't need that, you know. And I get the answer to my question, you know. Instead of putting a whole lot of faith in people saying, oh, this sucks, or oh, blah, 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 blah. You know, I would say I don't have time for that, but I have just as much time as anyone else does, but I would rather spend the time that I have learning more things or being a little more positive. because at the end of the day, we're talking about stuff that we like. I like stuff. I like D&D 5th edition. I'm so on Pathfinder for the reasons that I have. And this leads to the fourth part, okay? The fourth thing to remember is looking up information on the internet is a non-zero sum game. All right? This idea that only one opinion can be correct and everyone is fighting or debating, for the correctness of their thought. No, all that does is limit thinking, guys. Kills imagination, which kills innovation. And it kills fun. Okay? I have so many friends who play games, and I look at them. I'm not going to call them whack players, but they're always looking for the most efficient thing and so upset when things are changed and they have to learn a little more. I start asking myself, are these guys actually having fun with what they do? Or are they just doing it because it's what they've always done? I've learned over the years not to ask that, like out loud, to them specifically, because they claim to have fun, but I always see them upset. Specifically when they're playing games, running games, writing games, or after games. I'm like, dude, do you even enjoy this? And I don't know. Maybe it's my neurospice, maybe it's something else. But I will say this. With my level of just exhaustion over all these years of learning stuff, teaching stuff, finding the money, being resourceful, all that jazz, I can tell you that I managed to hold on to my fun. And I do. I managed to hold on to my fun because the stuff that I want to find fun, I keep finding ways to enjoy it. Okay? And looking stuff up on the internet, it's really easy to be talked out of the enjoyment that something is, or, and this is for a lot of you newer players, to think that the only way to have fun is to be within the very narrow confines of the people that are complaining about stuff online. Don't. Okay? Think about what it would take for you to enjoy something, and then spend your time investing in that. Okay? For me, yeah, I like making terrain. I know a lot of people who don't. I don't fault them for that. It is a very acquired taste. Okay? However, when it comes to that particular taste, I have acquired it. Makes me feel good about doing some stuff. However, there are a lot of different terrain makers who do a lot of different ways to build terrain. There is not one singular way to build terrain. There is not one optimal way to paint your minis. There is not one optimal way to run a D&D campaign. There is no magic formula. There is what accomplishes the thing that you were trying to accomplish. Now, in order to understand this, Deckers, you really have to have a good understanding of why you want to do the thing that you're interested in. Okay? When I got into Carnivale, I saw one of the coolest starter sets I'd ever seen. Okay? Just as cool as Marvel Crisis Protocol. And I liked the setting. I liked the idea of the gameplay. And I went in there and I didn't buy it because I don't have that kind of money. But I did have resin. I did have some STLs that looked like they could pass for um, Venice in the 1790s, and I, in my crafting workshop, I do, when I get large sums of money, stockpile my building supplies. Okay, like my foam and my MDF and my glues and things like that, because I never know when the urge is gonna strike. And I built the thing, and I downloaded the rules for free, and I played the game, and I loved it. Loved it. And I did something really similar with Dead Zone, and I loved it. It's all awesome and cool and new. And when I took it to other places to play with other people, some folks were right there with me, and some folks were tearing it apart because it wasn't the game that they had gotten used to playing. Be that game War Machine, Warhammer, Conflict 47, whatever, but a lot of folks were like, hey, this is just as fun as it looks on the box. And I said, yeah, isn't it though? And we had a really decent time. And that was it. Like that was it. And that was the whole thing. And there were a lot of techniques that I used that I picked up in 100 different places. Now, on my Carnivale stuff, because I did everything in 3-dimensional, I did not do a resin pour. Okay, seriously, I didn't do a resin pour for the canals of Venice. Okay, I didn't. Okay, resin costs a lot of money, and a 3x3 foot board with 4-inch canals that go across the entirety of these 1x1 foot squares, that can be $110, $120 bucks just to pour some chemicals on a board. Nah, didn't have it, didn't want to get it, might do it one day. Okay, and some folks looked at my terrain going, dude, that is awesome, it is more than I've ever seen someone do it. And some folks came to my terrain and said, wow, that would be awesome if you poured resin down there. And I'm like, you buy the resin, I'll do the pour. And then they shut up and they left the table. All right, and this is how you have to treat learning on the internet. Because there will always be the people out there that will push that goalpost back to a place that you literally can't afford. And I hate to be that guy to tell you. I really do. I hate to be that guy. Okay, but there will always be bad faith actors that want to tear you down because if you have fun doing less than they did, then they feel like their life is a lie. I see so many people, especially when new editions come out, new editions of games come out, saying it shouldn't be this easy for people learning the game now. I had to buy that codec back in 1993, and I had to read it 16 times before I understood that rule. Why should they have it so much easier? I don't know, because writers are better and people have taken a lot more time thinking about how games are put together than they did when the game was a cool idea that somebody implemented. Time. But call me crazy. All right? And that's a really big thing. Now, it is important to have a sense of ownership about the things that you love, okay? It really is. I mean, I see a lot of things today that are different from how it was when I was coming up. And the fact of the matter is, I'm happy that it's so easy to learn things today compared to when I was coming up. All right? I'm serious about that. I had to go over hill, over dale, slay dragons, be humiliated to read comic books or play D&D or learn certain techniques of base. Now I can look it up on YouTube or Skillshare or Discord, It's really good stuff. All right? And yeah, there are terrible people out there. There's a reason I don't know how to use Tabletop Simulator like butter. I mean, seriously. However, using those 4 things, okay? Understanding what you'll have to navigate to get to the knowledge that you want, cherry picking, understanding why you want to learn something and being patient with yourself in the act of learning, that's huge. You get those 4 things down. Okay, those 4 things. And not only, will you progress faster than you're afraid that you won't, but it'll be a lot more enjoyable in the meantime. Now, I'm going to put this out there for you guys because nobody out there is saying it. But the way that I've come to understand things is that when it comes to lots of things, one of the things I really learned from school is that pods are real. What do I mean? Take the grade that you're in, all right? Let's say you're in 11th grade, okay? There's a cool crowd in that 11th grade class. You might not be in it, okay? Or you might be in it and might not know it. Who knows? Okay? But I think back to when I was in high school and I had this thing called hormones, and there were quite a few girls I liked, but I wasn't cool enough, or I was too strange, or I was too wacky, or I was just too chaotic for the ones that started school the same year that I did. However, every year there was another batch of people that came in that didn't know me. And believe it or not, I can think back to one girl that really, really liked me, but boy, the timing was off because I was on my way out of the school and she was a couple of years younger than me. And the difference between 16 and 14 may as well be the difference between 50 and 12. But I did learn something really neat, which was this section that I'm in right now may not have had the place that I wanted, but eventually there will be one. Okay? When I first started doing this stuff on the internet, I was really hoping, to be at the same functions and have the same, I wanted to be popular enough to be let into the Critical Roles or the Double Toasteds or, all those guys. And I wanted them to look at me as a peer and all that stuff, But here's the thing. They solidified themselves 10, 15 years ago. Okay? There's a crowd of people solidifying themselves now. And eventually, I'll be as solid as those people, the Double Toasteds, the Linkaras, just all those people that are way ahead of me. All right? And there will be people coming into the internet that see what I do and they'll be like, man, I hope to one day get there. If you guys have ever seen the musical movie Singing in the Rain, there's the, what was it? The Hollywood Jamboree or the Showbiz Jamboree. It's the gotta dance technique. Or not technique, but the part of the movie where he did that. And it goes through his career where he was young and eager and doing all that stuff. He was learning the business. And by the time he had succeeded, he looked at someone else that was coming in just like he was. And he's like, wow, I have come a long way. And that's the thing about learning stuff on the internet, guys. Okay? If you are just starting out at the hobby, you are not gonna be like Eric's Hobby Workshop starting out unless you have years and years already under your belt, having gone to art school or gone to college for art or taking ceramics courses or working in special effects or working in construction. You're not going to be as good as the people that you watch, except for me, because I'm not that good. And all of my videos are, this is how you can catch up to me in the next 3 months. But there aren't that many videos out there, because it's easy to catch up with people like me because my standards are super low, so most of you guys that are doing this stuff, you're going to surpass me, and I'm here for it. Okay? I'm totally here for it. I want to see you guys go further than me. But I'll probably never catch up to Wylock. I will probably never catch up to Jeremy at Black Magic Crafts. I will not, absolutely not, catch up to Tabletop Witchcraft for free. Okay, I won't do that for free. That guy is just he is monstrously good at what he does, and yeah, he is way beyond where I have the ambition to go to. Okay, now don't get me wrong, if somebody said, hey, I'll pay you lots of money to learn that and document it, then I'll be like, cut the check. Wow, I suck at this, because I'll sell out twice as hard for half as much. But as long as I've been doing this, I haven't had the same access to the same resources, And now that I have those access to those resources, I might catch up one day if I choose to. As I said, I told you, you have the power to decide how far you want to go. Ask me how I know. How do you know, Siller? I know because I exercise that power. And I exercise it every time I start a new project. Do I want to make this one better? Like, is this where I want to reach for that next 3 inches? Or am I good where I am? I think I'm good where I am, and that's where I'm at. That's how I keep things fun, and that is how I operate. But I promise you guys, whatever it is that you're working at, in a little while, like, you're new today, and if you keep doing what I'm recommending and what a lot of you guys are already doing, there are people that will come in after you going, wow, you're so good. How did you get that far? And you will have the exact same reaction that a lot of people do, which is, what? What do you mean? This is garbage. It sounds like a joke. All right. But eventually you'll learn to say thank you. Okay. Like a lot of my favorite YouTubers that I've been watching recently have only been doing it since the pandemic, and they are leagues beyond where I am. And I'm studying and learning and figuring out how to get that far, or how to make my stuff as good as theirs with my own voice, dealing with my own so I'll get there eventually. I will probably never be at the table with them, but there will be a day where I'm at a table where somebody else wants to get to, and I've learned to be okay with that. Okay, so when we look at stuff on the internet, it is hard to learn stuff on the internet because there seems to be thousands of people at any particular time that tear you down to make themselves seem taller, or try and raise your standard, or even try and raise the bar to entry. Okay, lots of gatekeepers out there saying if you're not doing non-metallic metals and 5-layer shading on your miniature, then you're not good at it and you may as well not try. Don't listen to those people. Do the thing that makes you happy. Okay? If you enjoy painting, paint. If you enjoy running a D&D game, run a D&D game. If you have those players that are like, well, I was just trying to get you to run your game like Mark Mercer, make an appointment, pay the fee, get into one of Matt Mercer's games if you can, and just be the best you that you can within reasonable parameters is essentially what I'm saying, guys. Don't let the criticisms and complaints and all the negativity on the internet make your standard or expectations of yourself out of your own reach. All right? Now, I'm not saying keep your feet on the ground because you suck. No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, if you don't let them continuously raise the bar on you and just do that number on your self-esteem with whatever it is that you do, one, you'll see that you're better than you've been giving yourself credit for. Two, you'll get better a lot faster. And And this is the secret nobody tells you. You won't notice when you get there. But the people coming up behind you will. And the people that are ahead of you will either give you credit for as far as you've come, or they'll just continue to compare you to the standards that they're at. Because it's always about that distance, right? You know, but just don't put much stock into that. You know, understand where your limitations are and push your limitations by your standards when it comes to this stuff that we talk about, like our games and our paintings and all the stuff that we do. And I promise you, one, you'll enjoy it a lot more, and two, you will definitely progress a lot faster than you would any other way. You know why? Because it's called getting out of your own way. All right? So, I want you guys to think about that. Press like and press subscribe and all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, y'all didn't think the show was over, did you? Okay, no. No. You see, that's called editing in the camera, so I know where to cut this in case, when I was on that rant, I was like, you know what, this would be a pretty good YouTube clip. Yeah, I can probably do this as a YouTube clip. Yeah, that's actually kind of cool, but I need a good stopping point. Yeah, that's true, I do need a good stop. Here's one. Yeah, so let's see what the chats have to say. You guys are particularly quiet today. Let's see. Yep. Ooh. Wow. Okay, we've got somebody with a really long name in the chat today. Let me see here. All right, you know what? Major shouts out to you. Feels good, man. Long usernames. And Fortnite Babe, thanks for showing up. I mean, seriously, thank you. Yes, it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, very busy at work today. I don't even know what that fish meme means, but okay. Or the fish gif. I don't know. I'm letting my Generation X show. But yeah, so one thing I wanted to talk about today. Let's talk about some nerd stuff. Okay, some nerd stuff. So with some nerd stuff, I've been recording and editing the first episode of Happy With It, okay? Because I'm pretty happy with it, and it's actually going a lot smoother than I was hoping. A lot more smoothly than I expected. But it is a lot of work, guys. It is a whole lot of work. Just doing the clips, doing the editing, making sure my transitions are good and all that stuff. So a lot of color correction, that kind of thing. Did I mention I hate editing? Yeah. But what I want to do, since I have so many new people here watching the show, is I want to open some stuff up to the Q&A. So I'm going to make this and ask me anything. All right. So yeah, let's open the thing up to an AMA. I think I'm going to pull up a game, not to play, but I've had some people talk to me about a couple of different RPGs, and there's one that somebody brought up the other day, or not an RPG, a board game, and I actually want to talk to some of you guys about board games. Man, you were on this, huh? Yeah, you were really on this. Power Grid board game. Yeah, you are really on this, aren't you? Okay. Let's see here. We got a question from Neon Arlecchino. Do I prefer macaroni and cheese as just noodles and cheese, or do I like adding stuff to it? Oh, that's an interesting question. Yes. Specifically, seafood. specifically shellfish. Now hold up, get away from your keyboards, guys. Get away from your keyboards. Look, yes, I do like, say, lobster mac and cheese, or crawfish mac and cheese, or shrimp mac and cheese. And if I don't have the shellfish available, I can always go with ham. Ham and ham chunks, like specifically after the winter holidays when there's just a ham in your house. I don't know why that always happens, but it's like every Christmas somebody gets a ham. So yeah, ham mac and cheese, that's some good comfort food. But real talk, when I'm around, pigs are the shrimp of the land. Oh, well, I guess. I mean, I know something else that's called land shrimp that I don't really want to contemplate eating, but yeah, what I will say is, like, part of my celebration food and my culture's celebration food is specifically lobster mac and cheese. All right, lobster mac and cheese. That is how we roll when the income tax return comes in and it's grandmama's birthday. If you know, you know. Let's see. Next question. Well, while I'm looking at this, now, there's a game that I really enjoy playing. Okay. But it's been out of print for a little while, and boy, that is sad. The game, in and of itself, is Power Grid from Rio Grande. I love this game. Okay, I really do. I was taught the game by a good friend of mine a while ago, and I just fell in love with it. Now it's going for $40 on eBay, or on Amazon, which is actually very good. Oh wait, this is Power Grid Recharged? What is this? What is this madness? Ah. Okay. All right. Wait. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. It is a German board game. Okay. In the spirit of Ticket to Ride and Settlers of Catan. Hey, 13. How you doing, man? Yeah, I really like the game, and I have been looking for expansions because when I got the game, it just came with the United States. And it's really cool. It's, again, like Ticket to Ride or Settlers of Catan. You're setting stuff up all the way across the country. In this one, you're building power plants and running power lines. And I saw expansions for this a long time ago, where you got different continents. And I'm like, oh, that is fun. That is really fun. If you guys notice, when I do spend money on games, I tend to buy the game. Yeah, it is very much like Ticket to Ride. I'm pretty sure it's from the same company. Yeah. When I get games, I tend to want to get all the expansions in case they die, because there's nothing wrong with playing dead games. Oh, here we go. Yeah, like France and Italy. That's amazing. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. And what is this here? Ah, okay, cool. I can get expansions for about $20. Sweet. Okay, good. I can get those things because those are really fun. I got to see one of my favorite Decker kids yesterday, and I taught he and his mom how to play Ticket to Ride Kids Edition, which is really fun because he's a kid. And what I've come to notice is something that I'm a really big fan of, which is a good game is a good game. Good game design is really good game design. Love Ticket to Ride. I like the German board game model. When I first got Settlers of Catan, I fell in love with the game. So much so I've gone through 3 sets of it. Because I either wore them out or I lost them. um, and I've been meaning to actually 3D print a Settlers of Catan set for myself. Just haven't gotten around to it. But good game design is just good game design, and we're living in what I consider to be a golden age of board games. We've got so many good things. I learned another game from Rio Grande that I meant to talk to you guys about, and hang on, there we go. And that particular game, let's go into the normal viewing. Hi. Yeah, so let's see here. Is this, I believe it's Race for the Galaxy. I'm pretty sure that's the game. Yeah, it was either that or Stardock something. Hang on. Let's do a quick web search. Space-based board game. Yeah, now I'm feeling like a streamer. Race for the Galaxy. Oh no, Space Base by AEG, also known. Oh, I'm skipping frames. All right, well, I should be catching up soon. My internet here is terrible because the United States sucks so hard. Let us go to. Yeah, I learned how to play Space Base a while ago. Or not a while, I think it was a few, but I was really impressed. Really impressed. Oh, God, no. No, I'm not a robot, okay? This is the stuff I've been having problems with. There we go. Now this game goes for like $38. There we go. And real talk, I'm like, I didn't get the game, but it's very much in the Splendor category of games, where you're collecting resources and generating stuff and trying to buy stuff before the end of the game comes around. And it was very fun. I found myself in a difficult thing because of the nature of what I do with you guys and all the studying and practicing I do. I'm sliding closer and closer to being that guy. That guy that's like, oh, I sit down to a game and I can win really quickly. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to be this guy because I don't like playing with that guy. I really don't. I'm not a fan of playing games with that guy. But at the end of the day, what I will say is that there's some really good stuff. Now, Space Base you can pick up, I'm pretty sure, $36 at Target, or $36 on Amazon, $40 at Target, and it's a pretty good game to have on family game night. Now, I've got this thing, and I'm thinking about unboxing it, and I want to know what you guys think, like doing a YouTube video of unboxing a thing. But I ended up getting the AEG Best Games of 2020 box. Okay? And I've literally just been sitting on it for 3 years. And I'm thinking about doing an unboxing video, but I don't know, because a lot of the times unboxing videos are just not what I like to watch. But this is like, hang on, let me see if I can find a link for these things. I think it's the AEG Best of Bundle. Yeah. No. Best of 2020 game bundle. No. Yeah, I can't even find it. It's like, it's a big red box. It's literally in the living room in the Wizard's Tower. And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't opened it up yet. Hey! Thank you so much, 13. You were awesome. Awesome for doing that. But yeah, I was thinking, like, it is a game collection. Oh, maybe that's it. AG game collection. Just wanting to show you guys. But I don't know. I mean, oh yeah, there it is. Big game night. That's what it is. I've got one of these. Okay? Yeah, one of these things. And yeah, I literally have not opened it. I haven't unboxed it. I don't know what's in it. I don't know, like, seriously. I had a lot of store credit over at Guildhouse Games in Bellflower, and I'm like, ooh, what's that? And they said, dude, if you want it, you can have it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, yeah, there's this, and I've never gotten around to opening it. Like, so much not opening. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, especially board games that I still have to learn the rules and stuff too. So I'm putting the question out to you guys. Do you guys want to see me open up stuff and like try and learn games on the air? Try and figure out rules. Oh, thank you so much, 13. Man, gifting out a bunch of subscriptions. Yeah, 5 community subs. Thank you so much. And for a lot of you guys, you might notice that you are subscribed, because I've got a couple of folks that have just been throwing out subscriptions like dollars at the club, and I really appreciate that. All right, cool. There's gonna be a lot of dancing for a minute, but yeah. So let me know, guys, if you want me to go through unboxing, or maybe trying to figure out rules and learn how to play other games. Because real talk, learning a game that you've never seen before can be kind of frustrating. And I was thinking about this and talking with a couple of people, and some folks are on the tip of, no, people don't want to see you frustrated on the stream and all that stuff. You're trying to come off as an expert. And some people are like, dude, that's right up there with your brand, because you're a regular dude that likes playing games, so maybe you would like that kind of thing. And I don't know. I really don't know. So yeah, matter of fact, let me see if I can do a poll. Nope. Hang on. I do this so not often. Is that it? Nope. Is that? Nope, that's not the command. Yep, you guys are seeing, hey, guess what? Generation X. There we are. Okay. As he gets it. Okay. There we go. And yeah, I'm gonna do this at 200 channel points, so we're gonna do a good 10 minutes. I can't believe I did the poll correctly. Hooray! So the poll has started. It's I'd like to see Solar unbox stuff or go through game rules and try and learn them by reading. So do a vote and let me know what you guys would kind of be into. Because literally, I don't know. I mean, I'm not hurting for content. I can rant at you guys all day. However, we talk about games a lot, but y'all don't see me play a lot of games. One of the reasons for that is, and I'm working with my therapist on this, I'm not the kind of person that likes solo play. I really don't. I can do solo play, but I don't really like it. But I'm also really working on and trying to build up my retinue to essentially film battle reports in real time. And I know in order to do that, I definitely need practice. Although it's been kind of difficult getting people into the studio to do battle reports with me. And I'm like, well, if I want to do battle reports, I'll probably have to do them solo. And I don't like setting up the whole board and then playing by myself. And it's just, it reminds me so much of when I was a kid and no one wanted to play with me. You know, what? I got issues. You know, I collect comics. I have to have issues. Oh, God, it's terrible. So I don't know. But we've got the poll up. So those of you guys that are watching, you know, let me know. Like, seriously, let me know. What would you guys like to see? Okay. I know you are 13. If we lived on the same continent, that would be awesome. I also really need to learn how to use TTS and get a lot better with doing online board games. I'm gonna talk to a few people to try and help me out with that, which means I'll be spending a lot more time streaming, but it'll be later on in the evening because anybody that I would talk to wouldn't be available at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and y'all don't want to see me at 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, some of you guys might, but yeah. Well, let's see here. How's this poll looking? Got one vote for learning new games. All right. Well, we still got it going. It'll let me know. But yeah, I mean that's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to do. It's just, as I said, the whole point of this video, learning is hard on the internet. And one of the things that people love doing is giving you half-cocked info. I'm like, yeah, I need to learn Tabletop Simulator. Oh, dude, just go on Discord and ask what? Talk to who? Like, I need somebody to walk me through it thing by thing by thing so that I can be like, oh, okay, so I totally get it. So this here is a tape measure and this is how to measure that. So where do I get assets so that I can play certain games? And, you know, can I navigate those assets without bumping into white supremacists every time? You know, that kind of thing. Not a lot of folks understand not a lot of folks that I deal with on a day-to-day basis understand my trepidations for trying to learn things online. And if you look like me, or if you're LBGT, or anybody that's been subject to harassment online, you know what I'm talking about, you know. And that can you know, Xanathades, I know beyond knowing that Tanya has that knowledge, but one of the reasons I adore her in the way that I do is that woman is more prolific with content generation than I am. I think the only person that I know who has less time to do anything fun in this arena is Takahiro from Play on Tabletop. Like Tak, Tanya, myself. You know, that's seriously where I see, you know. So I haven't wanted to ask her because I know she's always swamped having 8 different platforms that she does. That's so much. But, you know, I'll find my teacher when the time comes, you know. Because I really want you guys to be able to play with me, to watch me play other people, so you guys don't get this idea that I'm some sort of serious expert and I win every game I play. I don't. But I would like you guys to see how I play so that you know how silly I can get and the ways that I have fun at the table. That I'd really like to show you guys. And I will when our following becomes bigger. Okay, that way I'll have a bigger pool of people to pull from to actually play games with, you know. Yes, it's almost like I started this channel to make friends. No, seriously. But I am just letting you guys know, hey, I am not anything super over the top special and all that stuff. You know, I'm out here learning stuff just like everybody else because, yeah, I'm on a screen, but a lot of people on screens are much closer to regular people than you think, you know. That's the reason the writers are on strike. They're having a problem paying their rent, and a lot of them live in 2-bedroom apartments, even though you know them from TV shows. Hey, what's going on, Legitimine? Hey, yeah, cheers from Greece. Oh my God, I wish I knew how to say hello in Greek. That would be awesome. Thank you for being up so late, and thank you for tuning into the show. That is so awesome. Yeah, I got a poll up asking if you guys want to see me do more unboxings or if you guys want to see me learn how to play games. Games that I haven't played before that I have no idea about. And just, you know, come along with me on this journey of learning, just so that you guys can see that just like me, I play stuff. It's Yasu. Okay, Yasu. Or is that Calamera? You guys must be joking amongst yourselves. I don't know. Okay, yeah, Yasu. Okay. Well, Yasu. And again, welcome. Thank you. And so, yeah, that we got the poll up. We're going. Okay, it's good morning. Well, I know for a fact that where you are, it's well after dark. Yeah, that helps, 13. I can't read Greek. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like buenos dias. Buenos dias. It's not morning here, you know. That's why you don't say konnichiwa at all times of the day. And you definitely don't say Ohio afternoon. All right. Yeah. So that's it's 2:45 a.m. Oh my God, you're like 10 hours. Oh, that's right. You are 10 hours ahead. So the sun isn't up. You must have had a night out. That was kind of cool. And yeah, so this is a channel where we talk about games and life and learning things and stuff like that. Primarily tabletop games. So if you're into like miniature painting, RPGs, collectible card games, you're in the right place. You're definitely in the right place. We got an open door policy to people that don't want to close the door for others. Okay, that is the whole thing. But yeah, I was telling you guys, yay ADD. I was telling you guys I got to spend time with my pseudo nephew last night, and I taught him how to play Ticket to Ride, and it was fun. It was just plain fun. The kids edition was a really, really easy start into getting into the thing. And I'm bringing this up because his family had the game and it was still fresh in the packaging. It still had the plastic on it. And they're like, well, you know, we got Splendor like we played last time we came over your house, but we've also got, and they started listing their games. And I'm like, you got Ticket to Ride? That game is awesome, because I love German games. And yeah, it was super fun. And I got a good reminder, a really good reminder as to why I keep doing this. If you guys have any kids in your life, you know, any kids, any cool cousins or kids, or friends' kids and stuff like that, then y'all know. Oh, wait a sec. What is this at 13? Yeah, if you've got any kids in your life and you've had fun teaching them how to play a game, and you see all the funny noises that they make and them going, oh, no, wait. Okay, I can't go. If you have fun at that, that is, oh, really? 50-50. 50-50 is the result of the poll. One of you guys want to see me unbox stuff as I get it. And the as I get it part of that poll question is important because, I'm poor. I don't mean broke. I mean, I have a hard time making money, and a lot of these games can be expensive until we get sponsorships. And learn new games by reading the rules. Okay, so what I'm getting from a 50-50 poll is you guys are good either way. All right, that's good. Now, let's see, 13. You have a benefit night at the local game store on Sunday. Oh, well, if you might have printed some of those cards to put there, then I would be rather grateful. Yeah, that's actually pretty awesome. And again, dude, all of you guys in the chat, 13 when you can make it, Xanathanes, BU77HUR77, Neon Arlecchino, Alisadra, Sofa King Super. You guys are seriously my top deckers. You really are. You guys are like my prime deckers out there, and I'm really grateful for you guys to be here. And if I were an insane millionaire, I'd fly you guys out to the Wizard's Tower, and we would spend like 3 straight days just playing games and talking on the air. That would be so cool. Let's see here. When you were playing Wingspan with your daughter the other day, you checked online for what color eggs each bird lays before picking out the egg counters. That is awesome. Because I want to put this out there for a lot of you guys whose first time here. Playing games with other people isn't just about playing games. Okay, it's not just whether you win or lose or roll the dice properly and all that stuff. I'm into this, and a lot of people are into this, because spending time with people isn't just important, it's rewarding. Long-lasting friendships are made around game tables. I don't care if you're in jail, I don't care if you're in school, I don't care where you are. Getting together for a common purpose with the expressed mission to have fun with someone else, that's when the foundation for good bonds are built. I don't care if it's with a kid, I don't care if it's with your parents. Again, I'm gonna get a little personal. After 32 years of fighting with my mom about RPGs, because my mom was brought up Pentecostal and had that satanic panic thing going on back in the 80s when America was attacking heavy metal, cartoons, and role-playing games as the devil. It's all the devil, and my mom kind of fell into that for a little while, but I would not stop playing games. And she's been gone for a couple of years now. But 3 years ago, I had the Adventure Begins set of Dungeons and Dragons, which when 5th edition released, they released the Adventure Begins, and it was a $35 board game set that gave the basis of D&D. It said it was for kids, but I take the kid version of everything when it comes to people who have never done anything within that realm. And I used to come over to the house every Wednesday for dinner with my mom. Yeah, I'm that guy. I am that guy. It wasn't Sunday dinner with mom, it was Wednesday. And one night, we cooked, and I pulled out the Adventure Begins, and I'm like, I want to show you how to play this. And it was just the board game. Your characters are predetermined, just like most board games. And when the monsters attacked or the layer actions happened, she came up with so many creative ways to do stuff, and I almost cried. And I'm like, now Mom, now you get it. This is what I was doing with Skinny Bill and Seth And all those times where people would come over and we would like just not leave my room, this is what we were doing. We were playing D&D, coming up with these stories and using our imagination and getting better at writing, and listening to Black Sabbath, who low key is pretty gospel, listening to hard and heavy music about being nice to people. And she was like, if I had taken a look at all of that back then, we probably wouldn't have had the problems that we had when you were a teenager, huh? And I'm like, well, I could have been a lot less of a dick as well. Again, I was a teenager in the 90s, y'all, and we weren't anything nice. Because teenagers really aren't anything nice. I'm actually surprised at and proud of Generation Z. Not just because my kid is one, but because they understand a lot more as teenagers than I know I did as a teenager. And I think that's because of the internet. They don't understand as much as they think they do, but what teenager does, But yeah, so pulling out cards, I don't care if it's just a standard set of playing cards and playing Go Fish with your 8-year-old cousin or nephew. I was thinking about it as I was driving home from my nephew's house. And I think back to that 80s trope of, no, family game night is lame. I don't want to spend time, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm on the other side of 40. And I look back to when I first started playing board games with my family. My mom had a few boyfriends growing up because, dad wasn't around. A long, complicated story having to deal with violence, alcohol, and quite possibly bank robbery. And but I remember my mom had one boyfriend, I believe he was from Nigeria, and we played Monopoly, and it was the first time I saw someone own Monopoly. And I mean, this was not a nice and friendly game night. But later on, I started playing games with people I knew, and we had so much fun. And I'm like, you know what? I get it. This is what it's like to feel like you got friends and how to start making friends. I've seen people that were forced to be in the same place because their parents are friends, but they're not. But then when the Uno cards came out, friendships were forged. And that's why I do this. That is really why I do this. In my travels and in my life, getting together with people to do stuff that makes them smile is really, and you guys over in Europe, y'all know this, but Americans, we gotta run that. I'm only gonna be on for another few minutes, 13, but thank you for coming in. The shows are 2 hours now, but they're every other day. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Okay. Serious. Thank you so much for coming in, doing the thing. You're a real one, man. You're a real one. But getting together with people and doing stuff that makes them smile, you guys in Europe get it, Here in America, we just work ourselves to an early grave with no medical insurance and a whole bunch of health problems. But every once in a while, if we can just stop and do something fun with people where we laugh and tell stories and all that stuff, sometimes with alcohol, in my case without alcohol, that reminds us of the other parts. And this is one of the reasons that I love kids. And I know that they are magic because since they don't have those pressures, they're really good at reminding us of what life is without them and dragging us along with that. But it's getting kind of late over here, and by late I mean late in the day, and I still have stuff that I have to pull off before the sun sets. So if you guys have any questions or comments, or if you guys like what you see, use that Jeff Bezos money and give us the subscription with your Amazon Prime account. Thank you so much, 13, for handing out so many subscriptions this episode and pull up your keyboard and type in, that's for me to know and for you to wonder, Neon. But type in back in the deck at gmail.com. It's BACKINTHEDECK at gmail.com. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram. Thank all of you guys for putting up all the links. Oh my God, the Patreon, the merch, the Spotify, the Discord. You guys are on it. God, I love my viewers. You guys are just amazing. You can also hit me up on the Clock app at BidP, and of course on Deckers on the Book if you are on Facebook. Thank you guys for showing up today. Go ahead and, just think about what we've talked about today, especially if you're trying to learn something new. Be kind to yourself and give yourself some time, and just take it in small chunks. Don't expect yourselves to be an award-winning whatever it is that you are trying to study type person. Just do the thing, guys. And if anybody tells you that you can't, especially because of the circumstances of your birth, be it race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, neurodivergency, or your budget, because anybody who's ever been to a trailer park knows that they are walking distance from the hood, you can look them dead in their eyes and tell them to put that card back in the deck. I'm Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, saying thank you guys for joining me, and we will see you guys next time on the dark side of the room.